Hello, good morning, kids. Happy Wednesday. Today, our lesson is called Representing Parts of a Whole as Fraction with Number Bonds. Do you remember using number bonds, or how Celeste used to call it, number bubbles? Well, we're going to be representing our fractions and the wholes, but using number bonds. I think this is going to be pretty fun because it's pretty artistic what we can get here. Okay, so we're going to start by representing a whole with any fraction. Let's say I have a whole right here, and I had partitioned it into 2, 4, 6, 8 equal shares. And I'm going to use, I'm going to write a fraction here. I'm going to write 2 eighths. How would I represent 2 eighths? I will color 1 and 2 pieces. That will show 2 eighths. You agree? Correct? Okay, so now I am showing 2 eighths in this whole, right? The way we use the number bond is really, really easy. We make a big bubble here, and that's going to represent our whole, our without shares, our whole thing, right? And then we're going to make like two hands, let's say. And in one hand, we're going to make the bubble that we already have the fraction with, and we're going to put it 2 eighths. So what would the other bubble have to make it a whole? Let's analyze this. What we know from unit fractions, and remember the unit fractions have the 1 as a denominator, right? So we have unit fractions here, right? 1 8. Each little piece here represents 1 8. 1 8, 1 8, 1 8, 1 8, 1 8, right? So if we already took 2 of them, how many do we have left? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the number that I have left is the number that I will put in my other bubble or bond here. So I have 6 eighths left. And see, this is true because if we put them together, 2 plus 6 will be 8. And 8 eighths equals 1 whole. Let's see if that's true. Let's count each unit fraction with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 eighths makes 1 whole. See, this is super easy. In the next example, I'm going to show you something extra. Okay, this is the second exercise we have. We have a whole right here that has been partitioned into 4 equal shares. Each share shows me 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, and 1/4. Those are my unit fractions, correct? So let's start doing the number bond. So we have a big circle here. That big circle is going to represent the whole, right? So we're going to make one little hand here that is going to have my fraction right here, 1/4. And how much am I missing? What would be the missing fraction here that shows the rest of the whole? That will represent the rest of the whole. So if we already know that we have one fraction of 1/4, how many are we missing to make a whole? So let's count the total fractions that we have left. We have 1, 2, 3. So right here, what would be my fraction? I have left, 3/4, right? But I'm going to show you something extra here. Now, this is a unit fraction. We cannot make it any smaller, right? But on this one, I know we can make it smaller. How? Because right here, I have 3 unit fractions together. So I have 1, 2, and 3 unit fractions. So 1 bubble, 2 bubbles, 3 bubbles. And each one of these represents, 1/4. And 1/4. And 1/4. You see how pretty it looks? If we get bigger fractions or bigger shares, well, this one is going to look like a big octopus with many, 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 many hands. So I hope you enjoy the activity of the day. If you have any questions, just let me know. And just before I let you go, I'm going to give you an exact example of how your work of the day is going to look like. I'm going to give you a fraction. Let's say I will give you 2/5, right? And you have to represent that in a fraction. So let's say this fraction, you're going to represent it with a model. I'm going to partition this into 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 equal pieces. I'm going to color or take or shade 2 of them. This fraction is represented by this drawing, right? And then what I do is I'm going to do, the second thing that I'm going to do is my number bond. So I do my whole, and my whole will look like, in one I have the fraction that I already have, which is 2/5. How many am I missing for it to make it a whole? I'm missing 1, 2, 3. So whatever I have left, I have it on the other side. And then remember, you have to do it the whole way. You have to represent this. If it's not a unit fraction, then you can break it down even smaller. So this one will be, if I have 2, I have 1 bubble and 2 bubbles, and each one of these is 1/5. And in this one I have 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3. 1/5, 1/5, and 1/5. This is how your homework is going to look like. I'm going to send it in an email, and you have to do this, all the process in your paper. Remember, I will give you the fraction. You have to represent it in a drawing, and then you have to show me the number bond or the number bubble, broken down all the way up to unit fractions.